I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.
Hello and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zulik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group, and joining me this week, as always, is...
your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the foghorn leghorn of the show.
And Evan Aubrey, and a special guest this week.
Kelsey Jaffer, the Ernie Morgado of the show.
Ooh, all right, let's go.
Nice. Yes, welcome to the program, Kelsey. It's the first special guest we've had in a while. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm, honestly, a little bit starstruck right now. You guys have been, my main podcast for, a while now.
Oh, really?
That's
oh,
awesome.
Yeah, going through the backlog, you guys are what I listen to when I, go on a run and when I cook. Especially cooking.
There you go.
That's the one.
I like to imagine that we inspire people to run their fastest mile, or
Yeah, trying to get away from these Pokemon or these recipes, possibly.
Yes.
No, I'm running to the kitchen to make the recipes.
Nice.
You hear something out while you're in the woods or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I gotta cook this right now, and then you just have to run back home to put it together.
This kind of implies that Kelsey, for a run, gets helicoptered into a wilderness area and has to track their way back to yeah.
Dude, I would love that, honestly. Add a little bit of fear. There's got to be more motivation than just, I want to be healthy, I want to be good at this. That's not enough.
Yeah.
instilling fear into your heart.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to make presumptions about there being dense woods where you live that you would run in kind of situation. So.
Not really.
Oh.
The dense urban jungle of Chicago, as it were.
I mean, it's still a great opportunity. So, look, I don't want to be that guy, but if you're in Chicago, do you run around the bean all day? Is the activity?
The only thing.
Yeah, I get helicoptered. Yeah, I get helicoptered to Millennium Park, and then I just run circles around the bean.
Yeah.
And make fun of tourists. No, there's actually a lakefront trail that's really nice that I live, not to triangulate myself, but I live along it, which, that's a 9-mile stretch. No one's going to stalk me off of that. So it's nice. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Big Chi-Town, as you know, this podcast is comparable to the television program The Bear, which takes place in Chicago.
Yeah, did people talk about The Bear a lot in Chicago?
A little bit. I haven't watched it, which I don't know if that makes me a bad Chicagoan or what, but I maybe I got to get kicked out. I will say that most of the time when I hear people talking about it, it's man, they really made a show about a business that is gentrifying a neighborhood.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I'm just
Wow.
So that's all I know.
Okay. Gotcha.
Roasted.
It's okay.
Local
This
hot
is a
take on The
podcast
Bear.
for
I'm
the
sure
wokes.
it's great.
Ian wants to rebrand us as Joe Rogan for the Wokes. And
Joe
I almost said
Joe
Joe
Woken.
Yeah. It's Joe Woken. That's the one.
I don't want to do it. I'm just saying that's what this is, and this is
that's
what
our
the Bim
trajectory.
Bam is. That's
The Bim Bam, Joe
yes.
Woken.
Yes. So let's do a little introductory with Kelsey to start off. So you are a professional voice actor.
Yay.
And you got any what kind of projects have you been in recently that you can talk about?
That I can talk about? No.
Yes.
It's honestly not that exciting. So recently, my biggest recent-ish thing is that I'm the voice of Yao Yao in Genshin Impact, who is this little tiny girl who runs around. All you Genshin heads out there don't know how the Venn diagram of Pokemon and Genshin goes, but whatever that is. Hi everyone. Yeah, so that was really, really fun. And then I've been in a couple smaller, they're not small, but I'm not the voice of Mario. I know they haven't revealed that yet, but I'm not the voice of Mario.
God damn it.
Plot twist.
no sweet industry tea here today. I've been in this game called Path to Nowhere. I got to play a psychotic chef, no less, who ends up it's kind of Sweeney Todd meets The Menu meets Squid Game. It was very fun.
Yeah. Excellent.
And then
when you're doing are you like a method voice actor where you have to like talk like the person that the character that you're trying to portray like in your regular life?
Yeah, just talking to my dog like that. No, but like sometimes if a voice is like kind of hard to maintain, a director will like be like, "Do you want to just like keep doing this voice in between line takes, like so you can maintain it?" I don't do that a lot, but I have done it. I don't remember what I did it for, but yeah.
I see Ian has a question.
There's a sneaking hand.
We were talking about Mabim Bam moments ago. They were in the Trolls movies, and so my question for you is, since we're basically like this generation's Mabim Bam, how and what franchise do you think we'd be most successful, the four of us being like guests? No one important, but just like background characters in like a video game.
That's true. We did try to become the Koopa Kids in the Mario movie, but that dream died very quickly.
Damn, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, okay, so the dream would be if they could take all of your voices and like layer them on top of each other, and then you guys are the collective new voice of Mario.
Oh no!
But
it's
like a nightmare sequence.
It's like the kid. It's like Codename Kids Next Door, where all of those like kids like all talked at the same time, but it's just Mario speaking in all of our voices.
Yeah, Mario. They were like, Charles Martinet. He's too iconic. We're gonna go a completely different direction. Mario is a collective being. He is many of one e pluribus unum. I don't know. That's Mario now.
I mean, he contains multitudes.
He eats a lot of mushrooms, and as we learned from like The Last of Us and many other projects involving fungus, is that they're all a big hive mind. And so if like all the mushrooms he eats, maybe he's like one with the toads, and they can like all speak together in one voice.
So then would you guys do toad voices?
Yeah.
We could be toads. I think we could pull off toads, honestly. To bring it back to the actual reality of the question, we could make a push for toads.
We're all basically Keegan-Michael Key if we do that.
I'd personally like to, the four of us are in the next like mainline Pokemon game, and there's one of us in each town, and when you find us like by the soda machine or whatever, the only character that talks, right? Because it's always text, but like out of nowhere, just like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Throw your Switch across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who? Oh wait, you guys know like the Pokeball guy?
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I want he already has a voice actor in the anime, but let's just say you guys talk to him and are like, "Listen, love your work, but every time he shows up, it's going to be one of us talking."
Yes.
There you go.
Perfection.
Yeah, so like would it be like every line he says is voiced by us, so at a separate moment, so it's a different voice for every sentence, so it's like what's this guy's game kind of situation.
Oh gosh.
Let's go every other word.
Yeah.
I was going to say, between the four of us, there must be a good voice actor in there. So if they just had us all record the lines and then took whoever did the best line.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like what happened to the McElroy brothers. I'm pretty sure they just like had them all just read like random sides for other things that they didn't know who was going to get what. And then whoever did best, whatever that one was, they just put that one in.
Get in here.
So.
That's funny.
Well, there's a new Trolls movie coming out. You'll never know. Maybe we're in there already.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm getting kind of thirsty over here too.
I'm glad you said it.
Someone had to. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Do we want to? Let's start with our guest.
That was a crisp
Kelsey,
crack too.
Thank you. My mic was very expensive. I am drinking a classic Trader Joe's raspberry lime sparkling water.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask, how do you feel about the Trader Joe's brand sparkling water compared to the more like commercial brands like a LaCroix or a Bubbly?
It's not my favorite. It does the job. Like, my partner, like, is a Trader Joe's fiend. So, like, our household we're a Trader Joe's household. And so it's just easier for him to, like, pick up a box of Trader Joe's sparkling water on the way home from work or something. If he's like, oh, I going to visit the trader today. And
instead of making another trip specifically for LaCroix.
Yeah. So, it does the job.
Yeah.
I am partial to Bubbly. Or LaCroix. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Any of them are good, but LaCroix Limoncello or LaCroix Key Lime are that's the best. Top tier.
The, creamy ones, kind of.
Yeah.
I totally get that because Trader Joe's is my main grocery store of choice. But there's like 3 items there that I don't like as much as I would get at a regular grocery store, and that's bananas, tortillas, and sparkling water. And so it's always like, am I going to do a special trip to the Albertsons or the Natural Grocers or whatever to get because they sell the brands of those I like there? And the answer is no. I don't like going to multiple grocery stores, so it's just I got to live with the choices I make.
I've got a solution for you.
Okay.
You see, we have Smith's here in New Mexico. It's also known as Fry's, or I don't know. There are different ones across the country. I have the Boost membership, and what that gives me is free pickup. So not just I did the deed with Mr. Joe.
Right.
I came home,
Traded your goods for his wares.
Yes.
exactly. Got the cider donuts.
Ooh,
Those are so
oh
good.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
They're in
Yeah.
season.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fall
someone
is
had to say it.
fucking here.
Apple cider donuts at Trader Joe's.
Oh,
Yes.
So good.
Sorry, we gotta talk about this for a second. I went and they weren't on the shelf, and I went up to the person stocking the sweets. I was like, "Hey, do you have the cider donuts?" And she kind of looked both ways, and then knelt down and pulled one from the bottom of the rack, and she was like, "They're fresh."
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, these aren't supposed to come out for another week, but I'll hook you up.
Oh my god, it was. I literally was eating one on the couch before this, and I inadvertently smiled getting to eat highlight of
That's a big deal.
this. It doesn't happen often. But
You got in good with your. Are you already do the people at your local Trader Joe's already know you?
No, but boy, do they love to talk to me as if they do.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good service.
I will say Ian lives literally 2 minutes away from a Trader Joe's. He can walk there
Damn.
in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, my grocery shopping takes 10 minutes total walking. It's awesome.
I'm so jealous.
But
That's amazing.
to get back on track, went there, got the nuts, came home, drove to Smith's, and I call the number. I'm like, I'm in. They come out, they open my trunk, and loaded it with LaCroix.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wow. That's a good day.
That's a pretty efficient grocery run, honestly.
Yeah.
They open your trunk you didn't.
They come up to the
They have
window.
your key.
They're like, Ian. I wish they were like, Mr. Davis, how are you? But no, they just confirm it's me, and they say, where do you want it? And I tell them exactly where to put it.
In the trunk.
In the back, baby.
I'd be a little bit worried about that because it's you don't know who's stowing away back there. What if you get out of your car when you get home, and the next morning you driving to work, and someone does the movie thing where they come up from behind you and kill you in your driver's seat?
Ooh.
Then I don't have to go to work. Checkmate.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, there you go.
They did you another favor.
Yeah.
Ben, you started this LaCroix Boys. What drink do you have this week?
I have actually kind of a special drink. So last week we were talking about bug beer, right?
Oh, you got some.
So I did find some bug beer. It's not what we talked about, so I don't want to get anyone, too excited. But it is from X Brewery, the Very Hoppy Caterpillar, and it's the Eric Carl Very Happy
That's awesome.
Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh, it's cute.
And it's quite tasty, but I thought it was appropriate since it is a bug beer of sorts.
Oh yeah.
these microbrews, they're just they're like drone striking, like millennial nostalgia. Like you fucking want this very hoppy caterpillar on your beer, and the answer is yes, I do want that.
Yes, I do.
While I'm a babby,
yes,
give
please.
it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I have a question. Yeah. Did that brewery also formerly have another name?
This I don't know. I'm not sure where this brewery is from, actually. La Palma. Or no,
not
Anaheim.
to be associated with
it's
Elon
from Anaheim.
Musk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I guess maybe there is some sort of Twitter backdoor connection to this X brewery. I hope not.
Is it EX or just X?
It's just X. X brewery.
Oh. Drop the E. It's cleaner.
Yeah. Evan, what do you got this week?
I have reached into the depths of my fridge and pulled out a Ashland hard seltzer watermelon.
Ooh.
Speaking of things that I'm like just not super jazzed about, like this is just okay for as hard seltzers go. I'm a little disappointed, but it's what I had.
Well, I didn't crack mine yet because everyone did it while I was talking, so I'll do it now.
Whoa, that was passive
I
aggressive.
have classic Sandia cider, watermelon cider. Speaking of watermelon.
All right.
Ooh,
So,
wow.
Yum.
always a big fan. Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Nice. Well, we got the tasting palette for the call, which is important.
It's very, very good. Ian, you had a lime LaCroix, yes?
Oh,
Way to make assumptions, Jeremy.
Oh, got him.
Did you?
I
did it
swore.
change your-
There's two of them.
Damn.
David Blaine over here.
Yeah, wow.
You
Mind
fucking
free.
mind freaked me.
Now we're rolling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you just have like another can on your desk, or were you like, I'm gonna prank them so hard?
I just had another can on my desk, but you
Okay.
set yourself up for that one, Jeremy.
Okay.
Wait, Ian. So now that you've left your old job, did you bring the drink fridge home? Is this in your office?
I didn't want to set it up in case it was too loud for Ben's recording process.
Courteous.
God.
Because I'm a professional. But
I
no,
appreciate
it's home safely. It's in a box with my tea kettle and all my other drink supplies for the move. So
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, I think now is time to very professionally move to the next section of the show, which is the recipe section of I Choose You, where each week here on the program we randomly select a new Pokemon to cook and eat. Then we share our recipes with one another and then decide who has the most delightful. Since we have a special guest this week, Kelsey will actually determine who the winner mon is this week. So we've moved from a democracy to a dictatorial government, and I think sometimes that makes it easier because Ben doesn't have to make a poll before the show each week.
Yeah,
so.
sometimes authoritarianism is just easier.
Yeah, you know what they say.
That is what they say.
But before we share your recipes, Kelsey, I want to hear your relationship with Pokemon, both eating them and the non-eating variety, just like maybe playing the games or watching the anime.
Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, I've not ever eaten a Pokemon in real life. I hope to someday. I've just not been so fortunate yet. But, so the Pokemon anime, like watching it when I was little, was actually like the thing that made me want to like be a voice actor.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Whoa.
because I know we're all coming full circle. But to this day, I'm pretty proud of my Ash Ketchum and Pikachu impressions.
Oh.
Would you grace us with your impression?
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Oh my god, I'm gonna close my eyes.
I don't know if you want to do that. You don't have to do all that.
Just to like get the full like a test, like to really, if someone could, if I wasn't looking at it or if it was in the other room, could I really be fooled by this?
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous now.
Pikachu!
Whoa.
Pika, pika. Pika, pika.
That's so good. Oh my god.
Ew.
wow.
And then, hi, I'm Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Go Pikachu!
Yes. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. Holy shit.
Oh, thank you. Been practicing it since I was like 5.
Yeah, you could be 10-year-old Ash Ketchum forever.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That belongs to Sarah Nato Cheney, but I would gladly also do it if he weren't retired at the ripe old age of 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I actually like never played the games until except for Pokemon Go, of course, until I met my partner, because growing up, my parents never let me have a Game Boy because they were like, you would never stop you would be one of those kids who's always playing their Game Boy at the restaurants, and they were right. Like, I totally would have been that kid. But I also, like, missed out for a while. But now I'm, like, I'm playing through Leaf Green again right now.
Oh,
so,
hell yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, cool.
yeah. And Sun and Moon is actually my favorite game. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go. Any particular reason you're big on Sun and Moon? Was it your first one?
It was, like, my first, like, game. And also, like, I don't know. I just really... The island vibes are good vibes.
Yes, it's true.
It's true.
It is undeniable that, like, you look at a Pokemon and you're like, if I could hang out on a tropical island with the Pokemon, I would do that.
10 out of 10. Would.
Yes.
Would.
So let's talk about our cooking this week, which is our randomly selected Pokemon is Tapu Koko, which is one of the quasi-legendary types from this. There are a bunch of fairies with different elemental variations. This is the electrical variation. And I believe I won last week, but I don't want to keep talking because I'm the host, so I'm going to toss it to Ian because he was like, oh, I've got something crazy for you this week, so I want to hear what that is.
I don't know that it's crazy, but it's simply too good.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right. So Tapu Koko is kind of like a rooster, right? Has the fun wing shell arms. None of that matters because this is just based on the pun.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to Fiji, and a traditional Fiji recipe is a fish ceviche dish called kokoda. So I have Tapu Kokoda for you guys.
Nice.
Ooh.
Consider this. Mahi mahi, lime juice, coconut milk, tomatoes, green pepper, red onion, English cucumber, parsley, jalapeno, kosher, salt, black pepper, whole coconuts, and, cut up your mahi mahi into bite-sized pieces, stick it in the lime juice, let that cook. When it's done, cook in quotes, right? It's done when it's a little translucent, and like you can kind of take the skin off. And that's basically most of it. Just
Okay.
You're gonna take your whole coconut, split that thing in half, empty out the juices, the milk, and you're gonna put the mahi mahi in there. It's like your serving vessel, and pour in the coconut milk and the diced vegetables, and kind of mix that all up. Maybe put like an umbrella in it. Just why not?
Of course.
Well, you're on island
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett style, get a margarita. And what I'm going for here is like his shell arm mask thing. I'm picturing that as being like the two halves of the coconut, right?
Nice.
Kind of comes
Nice.
together. In real life, mahi mahi. In Pokemon life, maybe you take the Tapu Koko and cube that mother.
Okay. So the meat
Now,
in the
will-
ceviche is Tapu
Yes.
Koko.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
Nice.
say that it is chicken kind of related image, which is a concern
Chicken
for me
coated.
personally. Yeah.
Well,
We've talked about this before.
yeah, you'll recall
Sashimi.
I have consumed raw chicken and I was fine. So
It's
just get it from
literally-
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it's literally never a problem. I want to butt in right here. You mentioned Island Time, Jimmy Buffett, and I meant to bring this up during LaCroix Boys, but obviously there's a lot going on, so I forgot. But yesterday, I decided to give a salute to Jimmy Buffett and do a little like day trip with some friends. So in Santa Fe, the town I live in, there's a whole like tourist thing based around margaritas. and it's called the Santa Fe Margarita Trail. And you get a little passport, and you go to restaurants, and they stamp your passport to say you've drinking a margarita at a restaurant. And when you do 5 of them, you get a T-shirt. When you do 10 of them,
And you're not wearing yours right now?
No, I didn't do 5 in one day, man.
Jeremy.
Sorry.
You have to do them in
Jeremy.
one day?
You said you like margaritas.
Okay.
You said this was a salute. Quote unquote salute.
You're gonna spit in his grave.
Yeah, okay. To answer Kelsey's question, you don't do them in one day. In fact, you're legally only allowed to get 2 in a day to be stamped. Now, obviously, you can buy more if you want. But you can only do 2 in a day because, that can get a little spicy. And there's 46 restaurants. So there's not.
Okay, that's more than
I
I
don't
was
think you
thinking.
could do that. Not
A lot of
only
free
just-
T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I want to lay out some of the stacked prizes that you can win. 1 free T-shirt. I think after 10, you get like a pin. And then after 15, you become a preliminary member in the Margarita Society.
What?
After 20, you become a permanent member on the Margarita Society.
Jeremy, this was made for you.
And then after
This is-
30, you get a margarita cookbook.
What's a margarita? Are you making recipes with margaritas? So you have to make the margarita and then you make a recipe with a margarita?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have this cookbook yet.
They're just regular.
One way to find out.
Yes.
They're regular recipes, but you do have to make them with a margarita in hand.
As an official Margarita Society member.
Yeah.
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 Frick, I'm just imagining like a secret society, but it's like margarita Jimmy Buffett coded. So like it's just like instead of like robes and stuff, it's just like Hawaiian shirts.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
They have a quarterly newsletter that they send out, and you can vote in their elections. I don't know
Elections?
What?
This is
there
like
a
the
board?
Freemasons with margaritas.
What that means. Yes.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, like margaritas, you're probably spending like $10 per margarita, right, with the tip or
At
whatever.
least.
So I love that. All right, you spend $100 in margaritas, we give you a pin, but $150 you get to join the secret society
For life.
Right.
Yeah.
For life.
and for $300 you get a cookbook.
Look, the scale's a little off, but the point is to you're drinking is that you're drinking margaritas. That's like
Yeah.
No question.
And if when you get the passport, you get $1 off the margarita you have.
So it all pays for itself.
Yeah.
This is a giant margarita pyramid scheme.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's to encourage tourism in town. I mean, I get it, but anyway. So
funny.
we wanted to margarita's not enough for one day. So we rode also Santa Fe, home to noted fantasy author George R.R. Martin, the creator of Game of Thrones. He owns a movie theater and a bookstore, but he also owns a train. And Kelsey is shocked by this. Yes, he owns a train.
It's a dragon
painted
train.
Well, there's 2 of them. One's painted like a dragon. One's painted like a direwolf. The direwolf howls instead of doing a regular horn. It's cute like that.
Actually, and these are trains that run.
Yes, they're real trains. Ben has been on one too. This isn't like an elaborate prank I'm playing on everybody.
It's not
here.
like a commuter train. Let's be frank.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like in Chicago, around the holidays, they circulate. I think there's I don't know how many. There's a couple trains that they circulate starting in November that are lit up with all these neon rope lights, and then they have an actor playing Santa riding on top of one of them.
Yeah.
On top.
Well, they make a whole thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's
Just
it's
before
safe.
it goes underground, he's like,
Yeah, Santa goes and
like the Polar
matrixes it
Express.
under. Yeah, just like the Polar Express. And I always thought that was cool, and they play holiday music and stuff. But I want to ride inside a wolf.
Well,
Now
I
is
will
the
say
inside guts?
The inside of the train looks like a train, so
Okay.
it's not a train.
Okay.
And they do also do a Christmas thing. Ben can tell you about Pablito the
Damn.
Christmas dragon.
It has its own lore. Yeah.
What?
Apparently,
That's so
Santa
cool.
Santa transformed the dragon into a train to help kids get their birthday or not their birthday presents, their Christmas presents.
they're all Jesus. In this
Santa's
story.
working overtime.
Yeah. But We rode on his train. I did have another margarita on the train. Did not count towards my passport, though.
God.
So.
What?
Outside of
Missed
the
opportunity.
fucking Margarita Society UN or whatever.
No.
Yeah, someone reported you and they took away your passport.
The fucking Stasi came in and was like, "Sir, you've got papers, please."
Oh my
and they look at my
God.
passport.
Jesus.
I do want to know, like, when you get it stamped, do they like look at it and look at you a few times? They're like, "What's your business here? How long are you gonna be here? Why are you here?"
Are you bringing livestock?
Yeah.
Yes. There's no picture in it.
Oh.
So it's just the thing you get a stamp on.
Could be anybody's.
Yes,
How are they
it
going to
could be
know who's an
anybody.
official member if they don't have more rigorous identification verification?
So true.
I don't know, Ben. Look, the logistics of this are a little wiggy. Anyway, I just want to say that combined, we made this day, me and my friends, we called it George Railroad Margarita in honor of Mr. Martin and his train, and it's a delightful time, and I recommend it to all people going to Santa Fe.
Are you on the board of tourism for Santa Fe?
No, I live here.
He
And
might
it was
as well
very-
be.
It's very funny.
It sounds
because
great.
When I went to go get these passports, you have to go to the tourist office to buy them. And I got them, and the lady was like, "Oh, where are you visiting from?" And I was like, "I live here." And she's like, "Oh, really?"
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
That's awesome.
Man.
And there you go. So that's my bonus LaCroix boys. Okay, back to the cooking recipe section of the show. Ben, what is your recipe this week?
Yes. So my recipe this week, I was looking, contrary to my partner Ian and his thinking that the rooster has nothing to do with the Tapu Koko and its culinary possibilities. I disagree. I was looking at Tapu Koko, and it reminded me of another. And also I was reading the Bulbapedia page. You know, Tapu Koko teleports; it zips around quickly. You know, fast. Some might even say in a cuckoo manner. And so, you know, thinking about this and also looking at the kind of like rooster plumage and like the feathers on our good friend Tapu Koko, I started to think that maybe the people of Alola would go cuckoo for some Tapu Koko Puffs.
Yes.
Whoa.
Nice.
And so that's what I'm making for y'all today.
So is it like the Cocoa Puffs, but they're chicken flavored?
Like chicken and a biscuit, but cereal
Yeah.
version.
I didn't. So, okay, no, it's not that. It's just to get out ahead of that. It's not. I was thinking that, you know, because Tapu Koko and the other Tapus are fairy types, there has to be some sort of like inherent sweetness to them, or just like, you know, I think that's like the flavor profile. And I'm kind of thinking you can just sort of like snip off the hair and the feathers of the Tapu Koko and kind of get like a sugary, sweet resin, almost like powder kind of, that you can incorporate in your recipes, and it'll help, you know, inspire that childlike wonder that maybe certain Cocoa Puffs made you cuckoo for. And just to bring it back all the way for the nostalgia, I wanted to not just do Cocoa Puffs, but the Reese's peanut butter, or the Reese's Cups. Reese's Puffs? Reese's Puffs.
Reese's
Yes.
Puffs.
Reese's
Yep.
Puffs, Cocoa Puffs combo in some homemade cereal. So that's basically what we're going to do, is we're going to, you know, give our little Tapu Koko a little trim, harvest out the sugary fairy dust, and incorporate it into this dough that is going to be our homemade cereal. And so you're going to whisk together some wet ingredients, including peanut butter, maple syrup, egg, coconut oil, and vanilla. And then you are going to separate those into two bowls. One is going to be filled with cocoa powder, and that's going to be our dough for the Cocoa Puffs. The other one, you're going to use some oat flour, and that's going to be the kind of more Reese's Puffs looking ones. They're both going to have peanut butter flavor in them, but one's going to have that kind of like Cocoa Puffs look, and the other one's going to have the Reese's Puffs look. And I think it kind of plays into the color scheme of Tapu Koko as well, to have like a light colored one and then a darker colored right next to each other. Then you're going to mix all of that all the dry ingredients with the wet stuff, get that dough going, roll it into little balls, put it on a little baking sheet, throw it in the oven, and bake it for 15 minutes at 350 degrees. And you're going to take them out. You're going to have to make sure you have a lot of them because, you know, if you run out of Cocoa Puffs, you might just go even more cuckoo. But so you're going to cook them up in the oven, and then, you know, there's a lot of discussion about this, but I think the right answer is bowl first, then cereal, then Miltank milk, then spoon, right? And then, you know, you're well on your way to having a fully balanced breakfast, and you didn't even have to feel bad about, you know, wasting this legendary Pokemon. You can just enjoy the childlike wonder.
Ben, how does this process of eating cereal sound? Box, hand goes in it, you grab some and then you eat it.
Okay.
The Ian Davis method.
I'm not opposed to that for certain cereals. Cereals I wouldn't do that with. Like any Pebble type of cereal. Too small, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
You just gets like a boba straw and like sucks them up through that.
Well, like with the Pebbles or the Rice Krispies, what's great is like you have it in your hand, you just kind of like do a little mlem action, and it sticks to your tongue. It's like a fun sensory experience.
That might have
pretend
been
to be a lizard.
Oh,
exactly.
right.
Thank you.
I guess if you had lizard aspirations, that would be kind of the way to do it to fulfill that need.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I have a question. Because like Tapu Koko is like a deity, right?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, because is he like truly adjacent to the cuckoo bird, the the bird?
It's pretty
the
close.
mascot bird?
It looks pretty
or,
close.
Like, I guess on a scale of like responsible father Toucan Sam to like the freaky honeycomb hairy guy, how nuts is this guy?
How nuts is this guy?
So Ben, you know how like a lot of children's food is marketed towards the idea of keeping the food away from the mascot because they'll like lose their sanity if they acquire it.
Right.
So like Trix, Cocoa Puffs,
Lucky
Charms, Cookie Crisps.
Right.
Like if the mascot acquired this food, they would
The fate
lose
of the
their
world.
sense of being.
Yeah.
So if Tapu Koko acquired Tapu Koko Puffs, would he like self-immolate?
You know what? I am of the belief that I think Tapu Koko is like down with the Cocoa Puffs. So
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking that like it's more like he'll go cuckoo if he doesn't get his Cocoa Puffs. You know what I mean? It's just it's more like the commercial's more like the child, and then it's like, you know, the kid's like running around and and then the mom's like, why are you being such a crazy Tapu Koko right now? Eat your Cocoa Puffs. and then it's kind of like that other commercial where the snowman melts away and it's the kid in there, and then you're like, oh, okay, so you need the fully balanced breakfast for the kid to be normal.
Yeah.
The people who made that Snickers campaign can pivot to this.
Something
Or not
like
you
this.
when you haven't had a Snickers.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes.
So if Tapu Koko goes crazy if he doesn't get his Tapu Koko Puffs, is this then kind of like a circle of life thing? Like, is this like a ceremonial thing on the island where they like harvest the feathers and then they make him the cereal to offer to him? Like he's like, I require the labor of my denizens kind of
Yes.
situation.
It's kind of like, yes, it's like paying homage to the, you know, deity that grants you another trip around the sun. I like that.
And it's also auto-cannibalism.
Yeah, assisted auto cannibalism. Because
Assisted auto cannibalism.
Everyone's cool with it.
Yes.
because he can't trim off the little feather and the fairy dust by himself, so it's like it's like a cooperative relationship, you know.
It's a haircut.
Is there a I'm picturing like maybe you take regular sugar and then it kind of does like the Catholic, like the wine is the blood kind of thing, right? Like the sugar is.
It transubstantiates its body into your Cocoa Puffs.
Exactly.
Yes, every week the denizens of the island get together and stick their face in a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, but not the one with the fairy dust, just the sugar. But it's like a ceremonial, like rite of passage kind of thing.
Hey, man, look, if communion wafers were like Cocoa Puffs,
Ooh.
I'd be all into that.
Oh,
That'd
if
be great.
Reese's communion wafers. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
They go
Sell
cuckoo.
those at Safeway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Evan, what's your recipe this week?
So I think before we started the show, we had some texts flying around. Ian particularly maybe sent me a bit of a red herring. Because
Did the red herring go ka-chow?
Okay. We're lacking a lot of
It
context
absolutely
now.
did.
So
Yes. So he sent a lot of Cars memes in our text group before the
Great.
podcast, and I swear I thought he was talking about a recipe that involved Lightning McQueen. But the more I was like, what does this mean? And I kept digging and like reading the bio for Tapu Koko, and then I found it.
the connection.
The rainbow connection.
Because Tapu Koko in the origin, the story that it relates to a thunderbird, thunder, lightning, ka-chow. That was
Shit.
Yes.
that's what had me. So it was a journey, I'll tell you that, and it keeps going because so. Looking at it, I just Googled Thunderbird recipe because, low effort as we do on this show. But it took me to a place, bumwinebob.com.
Thunderbird, the alcohol.
Yes.
Thunderbird, the bum wine. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because it felt to me like it's like a step above the Trigvi Load, like Can You Eat Moths blog for me. But it's basically this one guy whose mission it is to like tell the world about all these bum wines and like review them and drinks and recipes you can make.
Nice.
And one of the things I'll just read this segment because it's basically my recipe here.
Okay.
So I'll give you the concept. It's called Thunder Dew, and it's basically Thunderbird wine mixed with Mountain Dew. And with a new guest on the show, it's been a while. I got to pay homage to our origins of gamer fuel, and this is just stepping it up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, classing it up.
Yeah, so I first came across the notion of Thunderdew back in August of 2013. I still had a bottle of Thunderbird left over from my bum wine birthday bash weeks prior.
Oh no.
And I wanted to do something with it instead of drinking it straight up from the bottle.
This guy's been doing this for a decade. He's been collecting.
Probably longer.
Oh no.
I started to do some searching for something that felt it would mix well with the bird. And that's when I came across a can of Mountain Dew. I figured, why not? I poured some Thunderbird in a red Solo cup to the bottom fill line, and then opened the can of Mountain Dew and filled the cup to the top line, making sure to give it a good stirring to get the bird flowing throughout the beverage. Once that was complete, I took the first sip, and it was delicious. From there, I had to spread the good word to everyone else that was present and have them give it a try for themselves.
Okay, hold on. Who was present? He just sounded like he was in his house.
This was
Yeah.
That's
This
true.
was
No,
like
these are the
after a
people.
bash.
Yeah, exactly. These are you wake up the next morning and the people
Okay.
that are like hungover in your house still. It's like try this.
Wake up.
So even the people that were skeptical about the whole concoction gave it a taste and were quite impressed by the outcome. So Ben, don't give me that face. You might be quite impressed.
Yeah.
People that had
Never
tasted
know.
bum wine before and were not very happy about it had changed their views this time around.
They did
2
reform
thumbs
them.
up. Yeah. So let my Thunderbird Thunderdew bum wine reform you.
Oh. Okay.
And
Oh.
yeah, that's my recipe. Is literally just so. Oh, how do you get this Thunderbird wine from the Pokemon?
Right.
I'm essentially because it is electric and fairy type. I'm assuming there's some sort of like electrolysis that we can do here, where you kind of like there's no grapes to squish, right? So you're just essentially just like stick it in some water. And like through a fusion, like electrolysis process, you're basically turning this water into alcohol, water into wine, if you will. So maybe it is the Jesus Pokemon,
Maybe it is.
and that's essentially how you get it. And it's going to be very fruity because bum wines are also very like it's basically like cheap wine to get you really drunk, but it's very like over the top with flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining like extra fruity, not, there's no notes. It's all just like hit you in the face, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wow.
I don't know if this is gonna make sense to anyone else, but I got a lot of like mug root beer energy from it. Like I got that bird in me.
Yeah.
So you want like a smug looking bird on the can of this, and it's like staring at you with like a glass of it as you're drinking.
The bird.
The bird. I got that bird in me. All right. That sounds gross. I'm sorry, Evan.
It could change your mind, Jeremy.
Okay. It could change my mind. But I'll present my recipe now. Which I was looking at Tapu Koko, and I'm like, it is a rooster. And fun fact, what it's kind of based on is the loose chickens of Kauai, which were chickens aren't native to the Hawaiian Islands. They were brought in for like farming, right? And then I believe it was in the 60s or 70s, there was a hurricane that passed through and over Kauai, and it like broke down coops at a farm, and a bunch of chickens got loose, and now there's just a bunch of feral chickens on the island of Kauai, and people just take them and cook them because they're just they're everywhere and they're just walking around.
It's kind of just like in Pokemon where there's animals running around.
Yeah.
But like restaurants will do that. They'll just like get chickens that are just like walking around because there's so many and they're just there.
Interesting.
So it's definitely like kind of like a part of that aesthetic. And to go with that aesthetic, I thought, okay, it's an electric type, so it's going to be a zingy recipe, but it's also got a little bit of a sweet to it. So this week we're making Tapu Koko Alolan tacos with jalapeno pineapple salsa.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right.
So, we're going to basically cook up, some chicken, which we'll use the Tapu Koko in this situation. We're going to add garlic, shallots, pickled ginger, chili powder, soy sauce, sriracha, fresh pineapple chunks, cilantro, and jalapenos. And then we're going to, cook, marinate and cook that. Pull it apart so it's nice and loose. Get some small, soft taco shells. Heat those up a little bit so they get a bit of that char on it. Kind of what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get your little taco stands. Put your tortilla. Put in your taco fillings and a bit of the sauce here that they recommend, which is a jalapeno basil ranch. On this recipe that I'm looking at. Yes. It's well, you've got that kind of dairy cream flavor to counteract the spiciness of it, so it kind of like balances it out. And obviously the pineapple gives it that Hawaiian flavor situation. And the obviously Tapu Koko is not as common as the Kauai chickens, which are just, I imagine there's just not like thousands of these walking around that you can just pick up at willy-nilly. But it does again gives that the flair, the Hawaiian flair that you're looking for.
Some damn good tacos.
This is like a coming of age quest when someone would tell you to like go to the top of a mountain to slay the Tapu Koko for some really good tacos or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'd like to recommend a title for your recipe.
Okay.
Unless you already said this.
Oh,
Tapu Koko.
Tacocos.
Tacocos.
Sure.
The title has an ellipses that just keeps trailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely thought about this because I was like, surely I can fit the word taco into this title, and I gave it like 5 minutes of thought, which is pretty long, and I was like, it's not gonna work. I'll just say taco afterwards because it has similar like assonance as Tapu Koko.
It's your funeral.
Yeah, it is my funeral. I'm dying over here. All right. Before we wrap up, Kelsey, you said you had something that you wanted to share with us.
I do have a recipe. And it is honestly, I am not known for being short-winded.
Okay.
So let me try to like summarize this. Give you the cliff notes.
All right.
So I was like, okay, what does it look like? obviously a chicken. But when you like hold if you've seen pictures of it like holding the halves of its shell together, I don't know, like shields, it looks kind of like a chicken pineapple.
Okay. Yes.
It's like a giant pineapple. So I'm going to make huli huli tapu koko based off of a Hawaiian recipe called huli huli chicken.
Okay.
So huli huli chicken, it's like considered like a Hawaiian classic recipe. Apparently, I just learned about it a couple days ago. But it was like quote unquote invented in 1955. But so the guy who invented like the sauce for it was a white chicken businessman named Ernie Morgado. And he like worked for like this big poultry company, and he was like, "Oh, you guys like this sauce? I'm gonna trademark it so like no one else can like call anything huli huli chicken, even though I gave it a Hawaiian name."
Classic.
Yeah, classic. The classic colonialism. Our boy Ernie, Big Chicken. It's all there.
They call me Big Chicken.
I'm just imagining the guy in Toy Story who wore the chicken suit. That's the person that I'm imagining in this situation.
I wish. No, I found a picture of him. He's just a dude. No chicken suit to be found, but I don't know what he does in his spare time. Well, what he did. He doesn't do anything now.
They got to him.
The chickens got to him. So huli huli chicken is like sold everywhere in Hawaii now, and it's like a classic, but like they're not allowed to call it that because of good old Ernie. So like all the recipes that I could find were like a little different. They're like approximations of what like they think the sauce is.
Gotcha.
So for this sauce, you're gonna need a bunch of tomato sauce, soy sauce, brown sugar, honey, sherry, toasted sesame oil, crushed ginger root, crushed garlic cloves, Worcestershire sauce, sriracha, and lemon juice. But I'm going to say instead of the lemon juice, after you've killed Tapu Koko, you take his shell. Yeah, may he rest in pieces. You take his shell, which is a giant pineapple that he has cored to keep around himself. So you don't need to core it. So you take the flesh and you put some of it in a food processor, and then you add the pineapple puree to a sauce. And then you let everything sit in the fridge. You cut up Tapu Koko, brine him, his dead body for 12 hours, which you might want to do in a bathtub because Tapu Koko is 5'11".
Oh my god, really? I did not think this Pokemon was that big.
It's a big pineapple.
It's a big pineapple. I honestly wonder if that's including his really tall feathers. But still, like, that's still a big Pokemon.
Interesting.
So then after the sauce is set, you then put the Tapu Koko chunks in I assume like a garbage bag, and pour half the sauce over it. You let that marinate in your fridge for like another 12 hours. Then you dig a big hole on the beach, put in some firewood and charcoal, and then you like put the pieces on a spit, and then you like huli huli means like a lot of turning. So like you roast it over the fire, and then as you go, you brush more sauce on there until they're done, and then you put like a grill grate, I don't know what it's called, over the fire. Then you grill pineapple chunks. Put that on top of the chicken, or not chicken, sorry, Tapu Koko.
Yes.
And then you pour the rest of the sauce over it. And then as decoration, while you're waiting for your friends to finish playing volleyball on the beach.
Classic.
And they didn't help you cook. You put the little shell together over the platter, and then you put the feathers on top. So it's like, look what I got. We're eating Tapu Koko tonight, boys.
Yes.
Nice.
And then you call your
Love
friends
it.
over and you all eat it, and it's a good time.
I also wanted to try to do something with like the reveal of the recipe being like kind of similar to the shield, so I like that you incorporated that in.
Thank you so much.
You like bring it out on like a wheelbarrow or something, because I assume these shields are pretty big.
Yeah, maybe you've brought a wheelbarrow to the beach. That's like what you brought your like firewood in, and now it's like a serving vessel. Like those restaurants that like serve like nachos on a shovel or whatever instead of a plate, you know?
Oh, no.
Nope, I don't know.
I want to go there.
Don't
Tell
give
me
me
more.
any ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Restaurants trying to be kooky.
Yeah.
It's working.
You hear that, Chili's?
Yeah, come on.
Chili's, come on.
New shovel-based
garbage.
nachos.
Treat me like I'm a dump. Give me the Chili's with
Yeah,
the
there you
shovel.
We all know where it's going.
Yes.
I will say this recipe kind of sounds like a great way to cover up a murder. Because it's like, oh, you're hauling around a garbage bag full of meat parts, and you're like, oh no, I'm just marinating it. It's fine.
Yeah.
My
And then
I'm
giant
just
you're like,
marinating our island deity.
yeah,
Don't worry about it.
It's about person-sized. So.
yeah, you know.
It is. It's taller than me.
Yeah.
That's scary. But yeah.
Look, that's, we talk about it all the time, but Pokemon are bigger than we think they are, and it's frequently very disconcerting. Everyone's favorite example is Furret, which is like 6'7", and it's kind of freaky how long Furret is. It's a little fucked up,
I don't like that.
We learned to live with it. So it's all okay in the end. Like our recipes, which I'll review right now. From Ian, we have Tapu Koko ceviche. I forgot the exact name you used for it.
Tapu Koko.
Kokoda, okay. From Ben, we have Tapu Koko, Cuckoo for Tapu Koko Puffs. That's what it was. From Ian, we have, from Evan, excuse me. I did that in front of our guest. Got their names mixed up. I'm so sorry. From Evan, we have Tapu Koko Thunder Wine kind of situation. And from me, we have Tapu Koko Alolan Tacos. And from Kelsey, we have Huli Huli Tapu Koko. But Kelsey, you get to be the arbiter of justice this week and decide whomst has the best recipe.
Our fate is in your hands.
Yeah.
You can vote for yourself.
That's true. We could all just go home with nothing.
Man, I can't vote for myself. That's not.
Conflict
That's
of
not.
interest.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest. It would not be. I would not be stewarding my responsibilities well. I don't think. This is a tough decision.
It's what Jeremy would do.
It's true.
To be clear.
That's true.
Well, I'm not Jeremy, and how could I be? You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, I could. Only Jeremy is Jeremy, and I respect that. Yeah. Man, this is a tough decision. I liked so much about all of these. The Thunder wine is I will say, is not the winner, but it did make me think the most.
I will say I'm probably not here to win this season.
You're just here for a good time.
It's true.
You're here to make people think more.
Yeah.
That's what this show
Yeah.
needs more of, thinking.
Yeah, the cerebral aspect. You're bringing it this season. I gotta say, it's gotta be the Tapu Koko Puffs.
Nice.
Yep.
Congrats, Ben.
They're all of the recipes were great. It was a tough decision, but something about like taking a deity and turning it to cereal and then feeding it to itself, like there's something special there.
That definitely wasn't in the original vision, but I'm glad that we kind of got there collaboratively.
It's part of it now. Yeah. Also, I didn't know you could like make cereal at home, so that also was very intriguing.
I'm sure it's not good, honestly. I'm sure I'm sure homemade cereal is not good, and if you're in the situation where you're eating homemade cereal, I don't know, go out and touch some grass or something, enjoy life a little bit more. Like, it's not, you're going to be okay. Like, if you really are trying to make your own Cocoa Puffs, like, it's going to be okay. Just go and make your, obviously you're going cuckoo for them, so just get your own regular ones.
Yeah.
I'm sure that homemade cereal is terrible, honestly, but
Sounds like a good quarantine activity.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Actually.
Would have been great 3 years ago.
Yes. Should have all gotten to making sourdough. We should have all made cereal.
Homemade
instead.
cereal.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for judging us fairly and justly on this week's show. I feel like your decision was decisive and considered. which is all we can ask for. But unfortunately, that means we have very quickly reached the conclusion of our program. Unfortunately, we don't have any mail this week on Whale Horde's Mail Horde. So send in your recipes to ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. We always love to hear from you guys. But that does mean it's time for Pick-a-mon, where we pick next week's Pokemon. And Evan, can you randomly generate a number between 722 and 809?
All right, we got 777. It's like we won the lottery. The slot machine goes ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
777.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This is also a good one. Next week's Pokemon is, oh god, am I going to say this right? Togedemaru, which is the cute, kind of electric chipmunk.
Oh,
it's the Pikachu clone from this generation.
Yes, it's this one's
Love
Pikachu clone, but it's hella cute.
It is.
So
It's so cute.
So send in your Togedemaru recipes to the show, and we'll talk about how cute it is while we're eating it, which I think is important. It's kind of like the lamb chop situation. So that's the show next week. But in the meantime, let's talk about ourselves by doing plugs. Ben, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet, kind of, not really, but on Twitter, maybe, at Ben C. Montoya. You can also find me on Tumblr at thefearandnow.tumblr.com. You should click the link in this episode description for the Hawaiian United Way Fund that you can donate to, and also you should listen to Hang Up, which is a show that I sound design and edit. That the first season is just out. There's going to be a reunion episode soon that I'm flying all the way to Richmond for. It's going to be very exciting. So go ahead and listen to that show if you're looking for more shows to listen to.
All right. Ian, where can we find you?
You can find me at Musician Davis on Instagram. I post videos of myself playing bass, baking bread. This coming Friday, when this episode airs, I'll be at Tractor Brewery in Albuquerque, New Mexico, playing some jazz. So if you want to come out for a good beer, a good time, I'll give you my autograph.
If you like jazz.
If you like jazz, come on down. 7 p.m. Tractor Brewery. Be there.
Nice.
Evan.
Yeah, you can follow me on X at @E_Van Aubrey or on posts at @E_Van.
All right. Kelsey, where can we find you on the internet?
I am on Twitter/X as Kelatonin, like melatonin, but with a K. I am on Instagram sometimes also as Kelatonin, but instead of an O, there's a 0. And then
Did people steal that handle? You couldn't get the original?
I couldn't.
Wow.
I couldn't get it. What a shame. And I'm on Blue Sky, also as kelatonin.bsky.social. And yeah, that's about it. Also,
Oh yeah, shout out to Ed for giving all of us Blue Sky invites, or at least me,
Oh.
in the Discord.
Yes.
I made it.
Yeah.
yay, you made it.
Hopefully we'll all be on Blue Sky, especially with the podcast as well there. Then we'll have 10 fucking social media pages to keep track of.
One more.
So that's always fun. You can follow me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1, on Tumblr at VelocityPrime1, on the-avocado.org, Jeremy Zielik. You can find my writings. That's the-avocado.org. All right, time to wrap up the show. This has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can find us on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and... Am I missing one? I said that in the wrong order now.
Well, it's because Stitcher doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know it. Ben, it messes me up every week. I've said it the exact same way for 5 years.
You want to know? You feel messed up. Jeremy, try taking this thing that's been my lifeline for a fucking decade, taking it away, and see how it messes you up. God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. I think that's the way it goes. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages, I Choose Pod, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, TikTok, and Threads. So we're hanging out all those places. Hopefully we'll be on your blue sky soon. More I Choose You goodness can be found in the Discord. If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, head over to the Discord. Links are in the episode description. You can send in recipes, talk with fellow fans, and participate in community events like earlier this month when I played Ratatouille the video game. And it was a lot of fun, and everyone was like, wow, Jeremy, you're so great at games. You kept winning this rat game.
You couldn't speed run, okay? You did not. You could not.
There was no speed in this run.
So-
I played the game for like 80 minutes and blew past what with the speedrun record, which was like 26 minutes to beat the game.
Gosh.
Which I assume you get to using like breaking the game and stuff, because I don't see how you could do it otherwise, because that's like at least as many cutscenes there are. Anyway, it's enough about Ratatouille for the GameCube. Anyway. Last but not least, check out our official website, iChooseYou.menu. I'm thrown off this week. iChooseYou.menu has a full episode archive and merch store, all designed by Evan Aubrey. That's iChooseYou.menu. All right, let's do the outro. I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
I've been Ian Davis, the foghorn, leghorn of the show.
I've been Evan Aubrey.
And I've been Kelsey Jaffer, the Ernie Morgado of the show.
Did we never
talked about
ask?
that.
No, he's the guy who trademarked the chicken name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Big Chicken Man.
I forgot
I've
his
been
name.
paying attention.
All right.
I just blocked his name from my mind because he's
Yes.
such a piece of shit.
But to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
We've been consuming, presuming, leguming, cracking cans and having feasts, munching, crunching, slurping, Pokemon and Ultra Beasts. I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.